That doesn't prove anything.
Gabriel has already proven to Mosley that a legitimate voodoo cult exists in New Orleans.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait! Gabriel Knight.
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
Does this mean anything to you?
These are magical symbols. Deep magic.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No.
Then how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Uh-huh. Thanks, tons.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
Ah, the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes? I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
I'm afraid I could never translate this code for an outsider such as yourself, Monsieur Knight.
Since Magenta has a snake, it might be best not to discuss the snake scales with her. A large, sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner. A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. It's an old-fashioned parlor lamp hung with crystals. The shelf holds a variety of unusual objects. The kind of thing Gabriel refers to as junk. The Moonbeam residence looks like a cross between a voodoo temple and a Victorian fortune-teller's parlor, by way of Haight Street. The mask is made of carved wood and looks African. There's a chest in the corner that looks like a carnival machine. It's impolite to mess with other people's stuff. Gabriel should wait until he's asked. It's a large cluster of quartz crystals. It's an old-fashioned parlor lamp hung with crystals. Gabriel can't see a way to use that.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gris-gris and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodooienne's work is protecting her clients from the spells of others. I make special protective gris-gris to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Mr. Knight.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh yes, she was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you have any idea what Cabrice encore means?
No, I don't.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
It is the oldest, darkest heart of voodoo.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
There are some things it's better not to know about, Monsieur Knight.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodooienne's power. If people don't believe, there's not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antennae, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
There are many voodoo churches in New Orleans, no?
Yes, but have you heard of a secret voodoo houndfall?
Wherever did you hear such a ridiculous story? There is no such thing.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I don't know anything about that.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Where did you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me, monsieur. I am sure they know better than we.
Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
How did you learn how to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Uh-huh. Fascinating. How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
There. Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
Magenta Moonbeam is wrapped in gauze and silks. She looks vaguely mysterious and mysteriously vague.
Are you sure you can't translate this for me?
As I said, it's a very secret code.
Surely you can see I'm trying to learn as much as I can here. How am I supposed to become an insider if you won't help me?
That's true, I suppose. Perhaps if the Loa were to grant you their approval.
How do I get that?
By using my Ask the Loa machine.
A machine?
Yes. A spirit guided me to it years ago in an antique store, and its guidance has never faltered. I trust it implicitly.
I see.
The spirits often work in mysterious ways, Mr. Knight. If you aren't willing to ask...
No, I'll ask. Let's see here.
It's Gabriel's sketch of the series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall.
I'm sorry, Mr. Knight, but the Loire don't seem to be convinced that you are worthy.
Yeah, they are rather picky, aren't they? Could I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How many voodooians are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course, the level and the power of the voodooians differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
How did you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I'm a voodooian. That is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in Orleans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I'm well versed in the magical arts.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
All right, here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match. A spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
Here's an old hoodoo doctor, Gris-Gris. Place a dime under your client's tongue. If the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Tell me anything at all.
You have to be careful when handling a snake. They're more delicate than they look.
I'll bet. Are you sure you wouldn't consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
I told you, I couldn't do that.
Nothing. Never mind.
All right.
Have you ever heard the word Schattenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind?
Yes, I'm a voodooian, a voodoo priestess.
Nice place you've got here.
Thank you. For me, it's a sort of temple.
I can see that. Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me anything at all.
Dr. John sends me many seekers such as yourself.
I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Give me an example of gris-gris.
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
Could I try talking to the Lois again?
If you think you can convince them to grant you their approval, of course. I'm sorry, Mr. Knight, but the Lois don't seem to be convinced that you are worthy.
Yeah, they are rather picky, aren't they? Well, I guess I'll be going now.
As you wish. May the protection of the snake god go with you.
Oh, thanks. Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
That won't help get the python off Gabriel.
I really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again? Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
It's the shed skin from Moonbeam's snake. Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from a gentle Moonbeam snake. The snake scales are hued brown. They don't match the scales from Lake Pontchartrain. That doesn't work that way.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Do you have messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Didn't Grace say you had to dial 011 first to get international? No, I can't afford to call Germany again until I've figured more of this out.
It's a book about the world of snakes.
I'm going out.
Don't hurry back on my account.
Why is it so dark in here? Dr. John? Hello? Uh-oh.
That doesn't work that way.
really don't want to be dead. Can we try that again? Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Does this snake pattern look familiar to you at all? Have you noticed it on any of your customers, like as a tattoo?
Nope. Can't say as I have, me. Marine Corps, is it?
Yeah, could be. Thanks. About that crocodile mask.
We don't give no refunds on headgear.
Do you know anything about snake scales?
I got some snake root and snake powder, but I order them wholesale. I don't handle snakes. I don't like them at all.
I had a feeling you'd be back.
Really? Boy, you are amazing.
Please, be seated.